Yo, good evening. Happy International Podcast Day to every single one of you out there who are podcasters, whether you are in entertainment, comedy, TV, movies, gaming, from USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens, plus the tri state areas of New Jersey and Connecticut, and the five boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most. Um, your host with the most. Yeah, yes, Gregonator rhymes with now or later. Your host with the most. Misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, creator, creator, Queens, New York native, who's also a New York Mets fan and New York Giants fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. You are now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 424th episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast, the comedy space for various topics in music news. You have New York City Transit. You have movies, entertainment. You have TV, gaming, alongside with tech, based on segments. All right. We're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and in the comedy space of the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings. And speaking of YouTube, if you like to actually get in on the action on getting a discount, feel free to go ahead and hang on. Feel free to check out this website, www.streamyard.com. That way you can set up an account with StreamYard. You can use your email address. You can use your podcast email address. Whatever choice you choose to do, go ahead and do it. And if you go to the StreamYard's website, you'll be able to see some features, especially features choices of where you can actually um, use the different platforms, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Kick, YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms where people use um, a supporting platform for live streaming. All right, and if you and also if you go to the website, you'll be able to get a $10 discount. All right, so boom, and of course, please feel free to leave leave a like and a comment and hit that subscribe button alongside with the notification bell so you'll be notified on when I'll be on the air live alongside with new episodes and new topics. And of course, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. That way it helps the show grow, and of course, some more content, more topics, more of everything in between. All right. And please share this podcast with every single one of your friends and and others. All right. And man, oh man, oh man, I got a jam-packing show for you today, full topics, especially with the crazy Diddy stuff. All right. And of course, Cassie wrote a letter to the judge. Um, I'll talk about that in a second. But right now, let's get into the New York Mass Transit files right here. And I hope every single one of y'all had a great weekend and whatnot. And I hope y'all are prepared for um the weather to change as far as like the fall's already here. I hope y'all have your blankets and sweaters and hoodies and everything else in between ready on deck. All right. All right. So let's jump into the New York Mass Transit files, man. We got some transit talk topics to talk about here. I want to start off with this. Okay. All right, so here's what's happening here, according to AMNY. So a group of grocery delivery workers and supermarket reps rallied outside City Hall on Tuesday, urging the passage of new legislation supporting increased wages and flex schedules. And this took place on the September 9th event that came a day before the NYC Council is set to vote on a potential override of Mayor Eric Adams' vetoes of International 1133A and International 1135A, a pair of bills that would give delivery app workers more money and perks. Among the benefits from the bills is a proposed $21.44 an hour for workers. That sounds decent, but you can only dream, you know. All right, so the advocates urged Council Speaker Adrian Adams not to override Mayor Adams' vetoes and instead pass new legislation establishing a minimum earnings standard per active hour. However, the stipulation would be to do this while also requiring the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection to preserve the flexible work schedule that grocery delivery workers have come to depend on. According to advocates, city officials eliminated flexible work schedules when restaurant delivery workers were given an hourly pay increase most recently in April. Representatives from the National Supermarket Association said grocery delivery workers depend on flexible hours to maintain a livelihood and support their families. Instead of listening to these workers, the city council is planning tomorrow to double down on a plan that would take opportunities away from them, just as rising food prices are already limiting budgets for millions of New Yorkers, including countless seniors, those who rely on supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits to feed their families. Nelson um, Usay Bio of the National Supermarket Association said. What do grocery delivery workers say? Eli, a grocery delivery worker, says shift work would be a detriment to his livelihood and how he provides for his family. I depend on the flexibility of Instacart to be able to go to school and also provide for my daughter, he said. As a single parent and anyone who has children, you know that you can't plan for when your kids get sick. So when I had a 9 to 5 job, I ran the risk of losing my job because my daughter got sick and couldn't go into work. Damn, son. Damn. Eli said he used to work for DoorDash but was forced off the platform after city officials eliminated restaurant delivery workers' flex schedules when they implemented a pay standard of $21.44 per hour. The flexibility I depended on disappeared, he said. Um, Yusei Bio also said the bills will have harmful impacts on retailers and customers, including higher costs and prices. Meanwhile, an NYC council spokesperson said equity for grocery delivery workers has no effect on scheduling. Minimum pay standards help ensure workers can advance a sustainable delivery sector in our city, the spokesperson said. It is unfortunate that delivery app companies would spread false claims about the impact of these bills to misinformed workers instead of supporting fair pay. AM New York contacted the DWCP for comment on this story and is awaiting a response. All right, next on the agenda in transit. Um, okay. We got two Queen stories actually. First and foremost, this took place over the summer. An e-bike rider was killed in Queens on Thursday afternoon after being struck by an SUV. The latest fatality as the city continues to see a surge in e-bike collisions this year. According to law enforcement sources, um, 55-year-old Zhao Chao Fen um, Zhen of Bayside was riding an e-bike southbound on Hollis Court Boulevard near the intersection with 50th Avenue in Queens Village at around 2:18 p.m. on July 31st when the deadly collision occurred. Um, Chen was traveling in the same direction as a 2015 Nissan Rogue driven by a 62-year-old woman, authorities said. The SUV was approaching 50th Avenue when it collided with the two-wheeler, throwing Chen from the bike and onto the pavement, police sources said. She suffered severe chest trauma as a result of the collision and subsequent ejection from the device. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Officers from the 111th precinct immediately rushed the scene after getting a 911 call about the crash. EMS rushed Feng Chen to New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. No arrests have been made, but the NYPD Highway District's Collision Investigation Squad continues to investigate. The tragic incident comes just days after Mayor Eric Adams proposed new rules aimed at moped and e-bike riders working for food app delivery companies. The proposal would require the companies to register with the City Department of Transportation and assign ID numbers to deliveristas. It is not clear right now if Fen Chen was riding the e-bike for a delivery company. NYPD NYPD statistics show that collisions involving e-bikes are up over 25% year to date compared to the same year last year. No, the same period last year, excuse me. Zeroing in on the 111th precinct, there have been a total of 2 traffic fatalities year to date, which is no change from the same period last year, according to the latest traffic statistics. Meanwhile, e-vehicle safety advocates have called for the passage of Priscilla's Law, would which would require all e-vehicles to be registered with the DOT, not only those affiliated with the app companies. Another e-bike incident also happened in Queens. An e-biker was killed after recently slamming into an open car door on a Queens street, police announced Saturday. According to law enforcement sources, officers from the 102nd Precinct responded to a collision near Lefferts Boulevard and Jamaica Avenue in Richmond Hill at around 8:25 a.m. on Monday. This took place on Monday, August 25th. An initial investigation determined that a 32-year-old man from Queens named Vikas was riding an e-bike southbound on Lefferts Boulevard when he collided with an open car door. Oh, wow. Police determined that a 46-year-old man sitting in a 2017 Mercedes Benz GLC opened the driver's side door that Vika slammed into. Upon the horrific impact, the cyclist was thrown off the device and forcibly landed on the roadway, sustaining a head injury. EMS res- EMS immediately responded and rushed the victim to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, the man in the Mercedes Benz remained at the scene. No charges have been filed against the driver so far, but the NYPD Highway District's Collision Investigation Squad is continuing its inquiry. Police reported that e-bike collisions citywide have been increasing this year. According to the latest traffic statistics from the NYPD, e-bike collisions throughout the borough are up over 30% year to date, with 540 incidents this year compared to 414 during the same period in 2024. Damn, damn, that shit sounds very alarming. That sounds very alarming to me, actually. This screams, hold on a second. Wait a minute here. Yeah, this really screams a red flag. This is a red flag. This is very alarming to see and hear. Yeah, that part. That part. All right, so um okay, the NYPD statistics reflect a significant increase since July 23rd, when AM New York reported that e-bike collisions citywide are up a whopping 21.5% year to date, with 401 crashes compared to 330 during the same period last year, per the traffic data. Meanwhile, the latest NYPD data also shows that overall collisions involving motorized two-wheeled devices, including mopeds and e-bikes, are down over 13% year to date this year compared to the same period in 2024. Shit. I wish. I wish that was true though. I wish that shit was true. But anyway, wait a minute. Okay, another incident that we gotta talk about is what we went down with the Bronx actually. So a man was killed crossing a major Bronx street early on Sunday morning, according to law enforcement sources. Officers from the 50th precinct responded to a 911 call of an unconscious person near the busy intersection of the major Deegan Expressway and Mosholu Parkway at around 2 a.m. on September 7th. September 7th. Shit. When officers arrived, they found a 30-year-old man unconscious and unresponsive in the roadway after being hit by a vehicle. Further police investigation showed that a 23-year-old man was driving a 2024 Toyota BZ4X, an electric car, northbound on the Mo Sho Lu Parkway, just north of the major Deegan underpass, when he struck the pedestrian who was in the roadway. EMS rushed. EMS arrived and rushed the victim to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police are withholding his name pending family notification. Meanwhile, the Toyota BZ4X driver initially fled the scene but returned, police said. There are no arrests, but the NYPD Highway District Collision Investigation Squad continues to investigate. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. What was it? Hold on a second. Hold on one second, folks. Let me see something here. Okay. Okay. All right. We need to talk about the recent passing. We gotta talk about the recent passing of a man who you may have seen on Video Music Box for years. Um, all that will be discussed in this segment right here in Chatting All the Jazz. All right. This is where I talk about some trending topics that's happening, the ones that's covered and the one that's not covered. All right. So there you go. Okay. Over the summer, unfortunately, Ray Dejon had passed away. So, for those of you who may not know, he was a comedian. He was a comedian um, who who basically died just days before he was set to host a comedy roast in honor of his 64th birthday. So the NYC based comic died at age 63 on Monday, just one day before his birthday, and the cause of death is unknown. In the days leading up to his untimely death, um, Dejon announced that he was holding a comedy roast at his Brooklyn Comedy Club, 275 Park Laughaholics on July 16th, which didn't happen, unfortunately. Aside from his work as a comedian and opening Brooklyn's first black owned comedy venue, the funny man had also interviewed music icons like Stevie Wonder and Alicia Keys. The comic's death was announced by video director Uncle Ralph McDaniels, who on Monday shared a heartfelt message on social media. Um, I am sad to announce the passing of our Video Music Box family, Ray Dejon. He wrote on Instagram, "My condolences to his entire family. Ray Dejon will be missed." Dejon's heartbroken sister, Evelyn De La Cruz, took to social media to share her shock at the comic's sudden death. Wow. Wow. End quote. Thank you everyone for reaching out to me and my siblings and his children and family. Just asked for privacy at this devastating time, she wrote on Instagram. We will let everyone know when services will be held, which already took place already. Um, which already took place already, actually. Um, um, yeah, his birthday was tomorrow. We are all completely heartbroken. His birthday was tomorrow. Sleep in paradise, my beautiful brother Ray Dejon Jr. In his final social media post, Dejon urged fans to buy tickets to his upcoming comedy gig. In a video shared on Instagram with his 32,000 followers, the comedian said that while his birthday was on July 15th, he wanted to celebrate the following day. Hmm. Yeah. So the roast, which was set to be hosted by R&B singer Jimmy Cozier, was due to feature performances from Kenny Wu, Brooklyn Mike, Kay Smith, and Stephanie K. Dejon opened the comedy club alongside Kwame Clark and Rob Jones in January. Oh boy. In January 2023. From hosting side splitting stand up nights to organizing memorable theme events, Ray Dejon has cultivated an environment where laughter is celebrated and cherished. His profile read, "His passion for comedy is contagious, creating an atmosphere where both performers and audiences feel right at home." Um, Following the news of his death, fans and fellow stand-ups rushed to the comment section to pay their respects. Damn, former boxing champ Shannon Briggs wrote, "So sad to hear this. Rest easy, champ. I have no words." Comedian Ayana Dookie wrote, Thank you for all the stage time and for putting so many of us on. The Comedy in Harlem fan page shared an emotional tribute to Dejon, saying, New York City lost a true giant. Ray Dejon wasn't just a promoter, he was a connector of people, a champion of comedy, and a pillar in our community, the page wrote. To lose someone like Ray is to lose a heartbeat of the city. He was a great guy, a loyal friend, and a legend whose spirit can never be replaced. Meanwhile, comedian Vishnu Vakar said Dejan was one of the kindest people in the industry. Dejan had previously survived a stroke and had overcome addiction, the Sun reports. He had been open about his sobriety journey, revealing that his health battle left him paralyzed. He he added that medication had helped him to regain movement in his limbs. Aside from his comedy career, Dejan spent a lot of time helping young adults overcome substance abuse issues. So, Sleep in Paradise to Ray Dejon from Video Music Box and comedian. Okay, this this Diddy story has been dragged for weeks, especially from the summer. And according to the folks from People, here's what's going on here. Federal prosecutors asked a judge to sentence Sean Diddy Combs to more than 11 years in prison for his prostitution convictions. Um, Combs has Combs was previously found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution following a closely watched federal trial that also saw him acquitted of far more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. His crimes of conviction are serious and have warranted sentences over 10 years in multiple cases for defendants who, like Sean Combs, engaged in violence and put others in fear. Prosecutors wrote in a sentencing memorandum consistent with those cases and based on the coro no excuse me the corroborated evidence presented at the trial. This court should impose a sentence of no less than 135 months imprisonment. Prosecutors argued in the filing that Combs is unrepentant and that his history and characteristics demonstrate years of abuse and violence, including his admitted mistreatment of ex Cassandra Cassie Ventura, who testified during the Music Mogul's trial, which I will talk about her letter in a sec. Um, the prosecution's sentencing recommendation differs greatly from the defense's, which asked that Judge Aron um, Su- Subramanian sentenced Combs to no more than 14 months in prison. The Bad Boys record, the Bad Boy Records founder has already spent the past year behind bars since he was arrested in September 2024. He was denied bail both before and after his trial and has been incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Sentencing is currently scheduled for Friday, October 3rd. Subramanian is also weighing a defense motion to have Combs' convictions tossed. Mm, but wait, there's more. There's more. Let's talk about Cassie for a second, man. And this is from extratv.com. So Cassie Ventura sent a powerful letter to Judge Aron um, Subramanian ahead of Sean Diddy Combs' sentencing on Friday. Cassie, a key witness at Combs' trial, says she is scared and afraid of Diddy's swift retribution if he goes free. In July, Combs was found guilty of 2 counts of engaging in transportation to engage in prostitution. Of course, the Mann Act transportation, but not guilty on alleged racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. The music mogul asked for the convictions to be thrown out, but that motion was denied last week. Facing up to 20 years in prison, he will learn his fate on October 3rd. In her letter, Cassie tells the judge, if there is one thing I have learned from this experience it is that victims and survivors will never be safe. I hope that your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see. She writes about reliving the most traumatic and horrifying chapter of my life as she testified in May while 9 months pregnant. Wow, this is fucking rough, man. And I kind of feel like Diddy needs to be held accountable, man. He needs to be held accountable. And plus, this guy is in his 50s. And even he's in his 50s. And by the time he gets out, he's probably gonna be in between his 60s and 70s, and nobody's gonna fuck with him. You know what I mean? yeah, this fucking idiot is in hot water right now. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Where was I? Ventura reiterates what she had testified about in court, claiming in the document, he groomed me into performing repeated sex acts and with hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and plied with drugs and alcohol so he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illnesses, and the days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. Jeez. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. Cassie states that refusing meant punishment, adding that he controlled every part of my livelihood. The singer says he would threaten her reputation and use violence to get his way. Cassie writes in quote, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw pictures of bruises on my back from Combs kicking me and saw the deep gash over my eye he caused when he slammed me into a bed frame. Ventura describes it as a horrific decade of my life stained by abuse, violence, forced sex, and degradation. Since leaving the relationship, Cassie says, I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself physically, getting clean from the drug abuse Sean Combs forced and encouraged, and mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly unsurmountable level of trauma. Now she says she is afraid of what will happen if Combs walks free. Yeah, you got to feel for the woman. You got to feel for the woman, man. You know what You know what I'm saying? You got to feel for that woman. That shit is not funny. That is not funny at all. That shit is not funny at all, man. Um, Yeah, Cassie explains in the letter, in quote, my worries that Sean Combs or his associates will come after me and my family is my reality. I have in fact moved my family out of the New York area, and am keeping as private and quiet as I possibly can because I am so scared that if he walks free, his first actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial. She continues in quote, as much progress as I have made in recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he is capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me for having the bravery to tell the truth. Ventura insists he is not Ventura insists he has not changed. His defense attorneys claim he is a changed man and he wants to mentor abusers. I know firsthand what real mentorship means, and this disgusts me. He is not being truthful. I know that who he was to me, a manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker, who is who he is as a human. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power hungry, manipulative man that he is. She points out that Combs did not admit to wrongdoing until a video of him abusing her was released by CNN. Ventura writes, it it was only after um, actual video footage corroborated the exact words in my civil complaint that he issued an insincere apology on the internet. Cassie ends the message by telling the judge, I hope that your sentencing decision reflects the strength it took for victims of Sean Combs come forward. I hope that your decision considers the many lives that Sean Combs has upended with his abuse and control. Damn. Yeah. You know, Harvey Levin is a fucking idiot, man. How the hell are you gonna say that? How the hell are you gonna say he shouldn't he shouldn't he sh- how are you gonna say that that Diddy shouldn't serve 11 years in prison. He's done a lot of heinous shit. But that's, you talk about how he has done violent acts, he's done awful acts and stuff like that, but that's no excuse of the behavior, man. He needs to be held accountable. And this is why he had to leave Revolt, and he had to leave Bad Boy, because of his violent acts and crazy acts. So basically, we're gonna wait and see what happens on October the 3rd. He's facing up to 20 years in prison. Yeah, forget 11 years. 20 years should be appropriate. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. You know, yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. Man. Yeah, poor Cassie. Everybody really cares about her, her sanity and her well-being, and everything that she's been through. No woman deserves that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody deserves that shit. Man. All right, so moving on to the next topic in regards to over the summer there was a small earthquake in New Jersey. So Hillsdale, New Jersey, um, from WABC 7. Another small earthquake appears to have been felt by a large number of people in the New York City region on Tuesday afternoon, according to posts on social media. The USGS reported a magnitude 2.7 earthquake northwest of the city near Hillsdale, New Jersey, just afternoon. At the size, officials say it is not likely there will be impacts. The USGS does not consider earthquakes at 3.0 and below to be very dangerous or damaging. NYC Emergency Management said it is monitoring for impacts and coordinating with agency partners. It just, excuse me, it comes just days after a small earthquake could be felt across the region Saturday night. That event had a magnitude of 3.0 and hit in the New Jersey suburb of Hasbrook Heights. It's not that rare, and one thing that we do have that's quite different than out west is our crust is very old. So we feel earthquakes more intensely and from farther away for a given size, said Columbia University professor Dr. James Davis. So if they are comparing to a magnitude 4 that they get or a magnitude 3, there tends to be more shaking here for the same amount of magnitude, and it's felt much more widely. Damn. In April 2024, a magnitude 4.8 earthquake centered in northern New Jersey rattled the area with reports of at least 10 aftershocks. Shit, that's fucking scary, man. That's very scary right there. Anyway, anyway, um, we gotta talk about yeah. So we gotta talk about. So over the summer, there's been some shark sightings, which took place in the Rockaways. Several sharks were spotted prowling the waters at Rockaway Beach on the 4th of July, prompting a stretch of the popular summer destination to close on the busy holiday weekend. Chilling video shared on social media captured one of the beasts swimming very close to beachgoers in the shallow waters off the Rockaways, officials said. Two two sharks. Damn, that shit is crazy. Um, Two sharks were seen near Beach 32nd Street at about 11:30 a.m. Another sighting was reported at Beach 144th Street and a third at Beach 30th Street, according to Cass Daltrey, the deputy mayor of New York City for public safety. Damn, damn. Yeah, these sightings were very close to beachgoers, Daltrey warned on X. Whew, that's fucking insane, man. That's fucking insane. Man, that's really insane. Hmm. But thanks to drone tech, lifeguards, and the dedicated professionals at NYC Emergency Management, we're keeping everyone safe as they enjoy the holiday. He added. Let's see. Hang on 1 second. Queens truck driver T. Nickel, age 36, was unfazed by the shark sightings. My kids never seen a shark before, so it's just cool. There's a little excitement, said Nickel, who visits the beach nearly every day. It's nature. We're actually in their space. We really not supposed to be at the beach. Nanette Canova, Nanette Conover, on the other hand, wanted no part of the monster fish. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. We're not getting in. We're not getting into the water. Conover said, while she took a stroll on the beach with her daughter. They bite off body parts. She added as the night's first fireworks whizzed ahead. People have lost the. People have lost hands, arms. I mean, yeah, they are serious. I don't care. Big shark, baby shark, jaws, I don't care. Anyone who gets in the ocean after the shark sightings has no one to blame but themselves if they get chomped, she said. If you go in the water and your arm gets bit off, I mean, we told you so. We The terrifying sightings come as officials across the state brace for the possibility of bloodthirsty shark attacks, with thousands of visitors expecting to pack the beaches this Independence Day. Authorities are deploying a mix of drones and helicopters to keep an eye sky for the fearsome predators, along with more shark spotting teams along the shore. End quote. Our Long Island State Park beaches are cherished by New Yorkers and visitors alike, perfect places to get offline. Get outside and enjoy the outdoors, Governor Kathy Hochul said in a Thursday statement. Hochul reassured beachgoers that the authorities are taking every precaution to protect against sharks. We are continuing to strengthen our shark surveillance capabilities and safety tactics at these beaches to help protect these treasured summertime traditions, she said. I encourage all beachgoers to stay safe, stay alert, and always follow the direction of lifeguards and park staff. The state beefed up its shark fighting capacity by training 8 new drone pilots, along with acquiring new tech, including 6 new drones for park police tricked out with night vision, thermal imaging, and laser range finding. Suffolk and Norfolk County officials told the Post on Thursday they are taking different approaches to the potentially man-eating shark threat. Suffolk officials will conduct routine monitoring, but Nassau County's Marine Police will add patrols, deploy more drones than ever, allowing for more airtime for helicopters and sending more boats out into the water, according to Nassau Executive Bruce Blakeman. Our staff is well prepared to safeguard beachgoers this summer season, and we're excited to adopt the latest technology to even to be even more effective, said the New York State Commissioner Randy Simons. Um okay. All right. So, another crazy news that happened during the summer was the Queens Community Board 5, according to QNS. Um, Queens Community Board 5 District Manager Gary Giordano announced that the New York City Department of Transportation intends to perform nighttime roadway milling and resurfacing across certain parts of Ridgewood, Glendale, Mass Beth, um, and Middle Village as early as the beginning of September. The roadway milling and resurfacing will occur on the following streets: Fairview Avenue from Stanhope Street to Forest Avenue, 67th Avenue. Grandview Avenue from Green Avenue to Metropolitan Avenue. Grove Street from Forest Avenue to St. Nicholas Avenue. Woodward Avenue from Grove Street to Stanhope Street. Green Avenue from Cypress Avenue to Forest Avenue. Star Street from Metropolitan Avenue to Cypress Avenue. 60th Street from 67th Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 67th Avenue from Forest Forest Avenue to Fresh Pond Road. 84th Place from Furmanville Avenue to 63rd Avenue. Goldington Court from 84th Place to Woodhaven Boulevard. Dana Court from Woodhaven Boulevard to 84th Place. 63rd Road from 84th Place to Woodhaven Boulevard. 69th Lane from Elliott Avenue to 60th Avenue. 83rd Street from Myrtle Avenue to 77th Avenue. 78th Road from 83rd Street to 80th Street. 82nd Street from 77th Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 80th Street from Myrtle Avenue to 77th Avenue. 77th Road from 80th Street to 79th Avenue. 79th Street from the dead end north of 77th Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 78th Street from Myrtle Avenue to 77th Avenue. 78th Avenue from 73rd Place to 80th Street. 67th Place from Cooper Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 67th Place, 67th Street from Myrtle Avenue to Cooper Avenue. 66th Place from Cooper Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 66th Street from Myrtle Avenue to Cooper Avenue. 65th Place from Cooper Avenue to Myrtle Avenue. 65th Place from Elliott Avenue to Juniper to Juniper Boulevard North. 76th Street from Juniper Boulevard North to Elliott Avenue. 77th Place from Juniper Boulevard North to 58th Avenue. 58th Road from 76th Street to 77th Place. 58th Avenue from 82nd Street to 76th Street. 76th Street from 58th Avenue to Elliott Avenue. The Department of Transportation typically performs milling and resurfacing of roads between the hours of 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Giordano emphasized the importance of drivers safely operating their vehicles during and after the resurfacing process. The speed limit along these roads is 25 miles per hour, and it is even less in a school zone. Drivers must also show respect to pedestrians by stopping before crosswalks at intersections and giving them the right of way. All right, on to let me see if there's anything else. Let me see. All right, let's see. Let me see. Yes, Jim Jones. Yes, Jim Jones, actually. So let's get to that right here. So, and this is according to the folks from TMZ. The internet is convinced that Jim Jones is having a midlife crisis, dressing like a high schooler. But the Dipset OG explains to TMZ Hip Hop, how can he abandon a lifestyle that he created? The NYC, which is New York City, bred rapper, was recently in LA for Kai Cenat's Mafiathon 3 stream, and we caught up to him on his side gig operating the cousin's main lobster truck. Jim quips on how music isn't paying the bills like it used to, but he's found a way to pivot perfectly by co-founding a full-scale social media friendly warehouse compound known as Influencers Club with NYC podcaster Esso. Let's close this. Social media convos are currently labeling Jim as a teen, teenier citizen. Oh, wow.
Harlem in the building. Jim Jones in the building.
Yo, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. I do apologize for that. Yeah. Yeah, so let me see. Yes, senior citizen online for his rock star garb, but he's biting back a lot of the items the kids are wearing these days are things he pioneered before they were born. And no, I don't own the rights to Kai Sinat's live stream, okay? So don't try to copy strike me. That was by accident. I did not mean to press play. So please do not copy strike me. Yeah. In fact, Jim notes the hip hop flashy fashion has been going on so long that this generation has no clue where it even started. And there's no way they can expect him to cork his drip anytime soon. Kai even blessed him with an exclusive pair of fire red Crocs. Even with the online chatter, Jim is convinced it's mostly fueled by older rappers who lack the know-how to keep up in the changing landscape. Ditto goes for his health and fitness. At age 49, Jim assures that he's in the best shape of his life and says several old heads can't say the same. Content is king is the new motto, and Jim has linked up with his fellow rappers Mano, Dave East, and Fabulous for a new podcast. Um, actually, let's rap about it. No, it's actually artist to artist. No, let's rap about it. Um, a soapbox. Yeah, it's actually artist to artist, actually, if you will. Yeah, a soapbox for artists to have open and hard conversations. Don't know about that. Let's rap about it. No. Yeah, Jim's moves mirror those of his extreme hip hop brothers Cameron and Mace with their It Is What It Is platform podcast, but he doesn't foresee any cross promotional in the near future. Tensions are still running a little high between them. But hey, Jim feels there's enough money out there for everyone, and for the record, he's not completely distancing himself from rap. Of course, the summer is over. EP is dropping in a few weeks. Jewels to stock up for the brutal winter ahead. You heard. Now you can check out Jim Jones's Artist to Artist podcast, which is on YouTube right now. You can go subscribe to IFC. Yeah, IFC. Wait, yeah, IFC, right? Yeah, IFC. Um, type in the search engine IFC, and you're gonna see the YouTube channel. All right. And my apologies for the accidental play of Kai Cenat. I didn't mean to do that. All right. So there you go. Check out Artist to Artist by Jim Jones, his podcast. All right. And I gotta say, I started listening to it, and it's pretty funny though, man. Yeah, it's pretty funny though, man. I'm not even gonna hold you right there, man. So I'm not even gonna actually do the I'm not gonna actually do the spillage and stuff, man. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Anyway, let's see. What else? What else can we talk about? Excuse me. Um. Okay. All right. Some TV show checkouts, man. Let's talk about Stars giving a green light to 18 episodes for Power Origins. Let's talk about that in TV show checkouts. All right. All right. Hold on. All right, so this is a prequel of Power, right? So we gotta talk about this. So this is a prequel series. So let's get into it right here. So, Power franchise fans officially have something new to look forward to. Stars has picked up Power Origins to series, becoming the universe's fifth installment and the second prequel following Power Book 3 Raising Canaan. It will consist of 18 episodes, which will make up season 1 with Raising Canaan creator Sasha Penn to serve as showrunner, writer, and executive producer. Power Origins follows Ghost and Tommy as ambitious young entrepreneurs on the rise, determined to make their mark on the streets of New York City. The show's logline says the new installment is a fun, rambunctious exploration of a new timeline in the Power franchise, which will highlight the unbridled audacity of young men on the rise, determined to become legends in the game. Deadline understands the lead roles of Tommy and Ghost have yet to be cast. Mackay Curtis will reprise the role of early adult Kanan Stark in the new series, which he has portrayed across all 4 seasons of Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. Franchise executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson played Kanan in the Mothership series. Raising Kanan is set to conclude with its fifth season, which is expected to premiere in 2026. The franchise's first prequel introduced the character Branford Breeze Frady, um, played by Shamik Moore from the Amazing Spider-Man. Hold on, from across the hold on, Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse. Okay, so the nephew of street legend Snaps, played by Wendell Pierce, who's also in Elsbeth, and Pop, played by Erica Woods, in the season 4 finale. According to the show legend, Breeze plays a significant role in Ghost's budding career as part of New York's criminal underworld. Depending on what happens in the final season of Raising Canaan, more could return for Power Origins. End quote. I'm excited to continue to explore the origin stories of the Power Universe's founding fathers. Actually, here we go. Penn shared in a statement. Ghost and Tommy's backstories have fueled years of fast, excuse me, constant fascination and speculation among fans. And I'm thrilled to be able to answer some long held questions and share new layers of the story that viewers won't see coming. Let me see. The original series, created by Courtney A. Kemp, ran for 6 seasons from 2014 to 2020, starring Amari Hardrick as James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, and Joseph Shakura in the role of Tommy Egan. Power Book 2 Ghost, also created by Kemp, followed Ghost's son and his killer, Tariq St. Patrick, played by Michael Rainey Jr., as he worked to build his empire. The series ran for 4 seasons from 2020 to 20. What is it? 2020. What is it? 2020. What is it? 2022, 2023, 2022, 2023, whatever that year is. Anyway, and also starred Mary J. Blige, Clifford Method Man Smith Jr., Woody McLean, Daniel Bellamy, Lavelle Adams Gray, Gianni Paolo, and Latoya um, Tonodio, among others. Robert Mun- Munich created Power Book 4 Force. As Deadline previously revealed exclusively, Power Legacy is in the works from franchise vets Gary Lennon, from Power Book 4 Force, and Kendra Chapman. The sixth installment is expected to be set in the present time. The present time, excuse me. Yeah, present time. Excuse me. The present timeline. Um, damn, man. Yeah, the present timeline. Excuse me. Following the events of Power Book 4 Force, set to air its third and final season later this year. End quote. Our fans have been asking for Ghost and Tommy's origin story since we first met them in Power. And with the launch of this series, we're delivering in a big way, said Catherine Busby, president of original programming for Starz. This marks an electrifying new chapter in the franchise's evolution as we dive deep into the legacy of these iconic characters and the explosive moments that shaped their path. The Power Universe series is executive produced by the creator and showrunner of the original Power, Courtney A. Kemp, through her production company End of Episode, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson through G Unit Film and Television, and Mark Canton through Canton Entertainment. Chris Selak serves as executive producer. Pete Chapman also serves as executive producer. Lionsgate Television will produce Power Origins for Starz. Now there is no I don't think there's a release date for Power Origins quite yet though. So if I see anything in regards to any release dates in regards to the prequel of Power Origins, I will be glad to actually go over it. All right. Um and let me see. Let me see. Yeah, hang on one second here. Hang on one second here. Yeah, there is no release date for Power Origins. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. All right. Before I forget, before I go to munchies and drinks and um and some video gaming news, I want to talk about Seat Geek for a second, man. I've been hearing about this for a very long time, actually. So yeah, so this is a new product actually. So the new product launched on what is it, June 20? Wait, hold on. So the new product release helps right right shoulders bring premium to life and improves the ticket buying experience for fans with richer visuals and enhanced listings. So New York, June 25th of this year, SeatGeek, the high growth technology platform transforming the live event experience for fans, teams, and venues, today announced the launch of Beyond the Seat. So this is the app. This is the app that fellow New York Mets fan and YouTuber Wardy NYM was talking about here. And in case you don't know what this is about, I'm here to fill you in on that. This product release helps teams and venues showcase the full value of the premium experience they offer and makes the value of a ticket clear to fans at every step of the purchase journey, giving them greater clarity and confidence as they buy. Over the past several years, shoulder have right shoulders have been investing billions in upgrading their venue and premium experiences, but that investment is often invisible at the moment it matters most. When a fan decides what ticket to buy, a f- yeah, when a fan decides what ticket to buy, a fall 2024 SeatGeek survey found that more than 40% of sports fans aren't confident in their ability to find premium tickets, and over half of general admissions buyers say they can't justify the cost, not because they are unwilling to spend, but because the value isn't clear. Beyond the Seat helps right shoulders close the gap between price and perceived value by making those experiences more visible within the purchase flow. When fans can see what makes each seat special, whether it's all inclusive food, private entrances, or better sight lines, they are more likely to engage, convert, and buy um, with confidence. Season ticket members and corporate partners can more easily showcase the value of their seats and sharing them with their network, helping drive higher use and satisfaction. Right shoulders can also reach entirely new premium audiences by selling the full value of elevated experiences on single game tickets. End quote. Fans aren't just buying a seat, they are buying the experience around it, said Russ D. Souza, co founder of SeatGeek. This release helps our partners bring that full experience to life earlier in the journey. Fans know what they are getting, and teams and venues can fill more seats and drive stronger returns. And Yeah, so this release helps our partners bring that full experience to life earlier in the journey. Fans know what they are getting, and teams and venues can fill more seats and drive stronger returns. Key features of Beyond the Seat include experiential shopping, rich visuals and video for general admission, premium and everything in between. These assets bring seats to life beyond location alone, with visuals of clubs and perks. Premium listings, um, premium options like suites, clubs, and VIP seating are shown side by side with non premium tickets, making it easier for fans to understand and opt into upgraded experiences. Real fan views coming soon. User generated photos let fans share what the experience actually looks like, helping other fans better picture what they are getting. Immersive view from seat. More than a static seat view, this feature uses 360-degree visuals to give fans a realistic, immersive preview of what they'll see. Hold on. In-app upsells and seat upgrades. More options for fans to add on to their experience throughout their journey, from buying merch in app without missing the action to upgrading seats after arrival. Beyond uh, the seat features are rolling out across select Seat Geek partners, with availability and timing varying by league and partner integration. Experiential shopping is live on desktop for MLB and available to NFL, NHL, and NBA partners upon request. Premium listings are currently in beta for MLB, while real fan views will enter beta. Um, yeah, so there you go, right there. So hold on. So this is what SeatGeek is about. So SeatGeek was founded in 2009 when three live event fans had the crazy idea that modern technology could improve the live event going experience for everyone, fans, teams, and artists. Today, SeatGeek offers a trusted marketplace for fans to easily buy and sell tickets to the events they love, and provides primary box office technology for some of the most prominent names in sports and entertainment globally. Yeah, so make sure y'all check that out. Go to your app stores. You can even follow on X. You can follow on Facebook, Instagram, alongside with TikTok as well. Um, and and of course, for more information, you can actually check out the website. All right, so let me see. Let me see what I get. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So let's go on to munchies and drinks. All right. Hang on one second. All right, we're gonna go to munchies and drinks right now. Now, this one is a little interesting because I did not know Law and Order had a pop up shop for celebrating 25 years of being on the air on TV, which is very, very phenomenal and very extravagant. Hold on. Yeah, let's get to it right now. Law and Order SVU celebrating their 25th season. 25 seasons. Yeah, 25 seasons. That's crazy, man. So here's what's going on here, actually. So in the culinary world, late night cravings are considered especially dangerous. In New York City, the dedicated cooks who satisfy these cravings work at an elite establishment known as the Dun Dun Diner. Oh shit. The Dun Dun Diner. Oh shit. There are their specials. um So nothing says Law and Order like the iconic Dun Dun intro. Now fans can immerse themselves in the world of their favorite crime show with the Dun Dun Diner pop up at Rockefeller Center. To celebrate the 25th season of Law and Order and the 27th premiere of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, NBC is hosting a limited time dining experience based on the Dick Wolf franchise. The Dick Wolf franchise. The pop up will run from October 3rd to the 5th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The event will take place at One Rockefeller Plaza, a fitting backdrop in Midtown Manhattan for the one of a kind criminal experience. Yeah, the Dun Dun Diner, named for the show's legendary musical intro, which is hosted by NBC and Peacock in collaboration with NVE Experience Agency. Of course, the grand opening is to open a few days after the season premiere of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, which was September 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, coinciding with the season premiere. According to the Rockefeller Center website, the diner features partnerships with Milk Bar and Dinner Service and Y, which is New York, allowing fans to try diner classics, buy limited edition squad merchandise, and experience interactive moments inspired by Law and Order heroes, guest stars, and decades of cases. The pop up is modeled after the quintessential New York City hangout for hardworking detectives, according to an NBC press release. It it also features memorabilia from the show. Oh shit! The table setups are designed to make fans feel like Briscoe, um, by played by Jerry Orbach, grabbing a quick bite before returning to the beat, or Captain Olivia Benson, played by Mariska Hargitay, Hargitay, and Stabler, played by Christopher Maloney, who's also in the spinoff of Law and Order Organized Crime, are catching up on a case. The series, created by Dick Wolf, is one of the most time honored crime dramas, known for its unique, subdivided format that examines the police who investigate crime and district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. According to a press release from NVE Experience Agency, the event follows last year's Law and Order station takeover in Boston. In 2024, Rockefeller Center renamed its plaza Olivia Benson Plaza. Oh shit! Oh man, Olivia Olivia Plaza. Oh man, that's funny. Oh shit! To mark the 25th anniversary of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, according to today's website. Oh my god, that is so funny. That's so funny, man. I can't help it. Whew. Wow. All right. That's funny, man. Since 1990, the Law and Order universe has been a cornerstone of New York City's cultural landscape, remaining successful due to the series' dramatized storytelling, engaging characters, and a familiar comfort experience found in each episode. The Dun Dun Diner allows fans to enjoy their food as they were Benson on break from a busy schedule in an iconic New York diner. The limited edition diner is open and free to the public. Reservations are available on a first come, first served basis. Here are the dates and hours of operation for the Dun Dun Diner. October 3rd, which is Friday, which is the same day as the rated R movie biopic, The Smashing Machine, comes out. Starts at 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, October 4th, and Sunday to and Sunday, October 5th, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Make sure you go ahead and check that diner out, the Dun Dun Diner. You know, that's a clever ass name, man, for a diner. That's actually a clever name, though, man. I'm not gonna hold you. That's a clever ass name, though. All right, so on to Lanzhou. Dumpling lovers. Today is National Dumpling Day. We have the perfect spot to enjoy the festivities. So call your friends and get ready for great food. Lanzhou Lanzhou 1915 hand pulled noodles and dumplings offer a diverse selection of handcrafted dumplings and signature hand pulled noodles from pork to shrimp to vegetables or combinations of any two. Lanzhou is a dumpling lover's dream. Each dumpling is sealed with care and love. A detail I witnessed while watching the dough being filled in the kitchen. Excuse me. The pork and chive dumplings are a standout, and the pan fried dumplings are close behind. Their in-house chili oil brings all the flavors together, making every bite memorable. Since opening in January 2024, owner Zhang Li has pursued a mission, end quote. We want to bring the noodles and flavors of our hometown to New York, allowing more people to experience the tradition of our 1915 Lanzhou handmade noodles. After immigrating from China, Lee set out to honor her grandparents who ran a noodle shop in China where these recipes began. She emphasizes two core values: pride, providing our customers with the best quality and taste, and responsibility, serving our customers with authentic, genuine food. Their noodles are a centerpiece, hand pulled fresh before your eyes, with choices ranging from ultra thin to extra wide in 6 different widths. Lee's favorite is the Lanzhou beef noodles, featuring a clear, deeply flavorful broth simmered 6 to 8 hours daily with over 30 medicinal herbs and beef bones. Um, for a bold option, try the spicy oil spill noodles. Springy noodles are topped with with crisp bok choy and a generous pour of house-made chili oil, bringing a smoky, spicy finish that transforms the dish. Lanzhou currently has 2 locations: 207 East 26th Street in Kips Bay and 76 76 Mott Street in Chinatown. Experience lens houses, finest flavors, crafted by hand and rooted in tradition. Right here in NYC. Stop by and enjoy a meal. Tell them Kylo sent you. Hmm. All right. Also, let's get into this one right here. All right. So Mission Ceviche is the sort of place that reminds you why New York still still seduces. The room glows, the hum is civilized, and the plates arrive with the confidence of a kitchen certain of its palate. I met a friend for dinner and surrendered to the ambience first, warm, light, polished pace, a whisper of fiesta in the air. The sweet plantain with goat cheese was credible sweetness tempered by a sly tang, a little duet that set the rhythm. The salmon belly followed and stole the show, lush and precise. The the kind of bite that dissolves the table into silence because words would only interrupt the joy. The risotto arrived last, wild with some sumptuous flavor, creamy without heaviness, persuasive enough to cancel plans and order another round. The crispy kale Caesar salad surprised me into devotion. I am on a salad kick lately and rarely resist a kale Caesar. This version veered from my usual, yet may be one of my favorite salads in recent memory. The bowl was generous and bright, with a sweet savory bite and plenty of crunch textural theater that rewarded every forkful. Um, Mission Ceviche, celebrates Peru and Chef Jose Luis Chavez's radiant discipline. The Ceviche Casio, no, the Ceviche Classico lands with measured brightness, tiger's milk. Ew. Oh man. Oh shit. Peruvian corn, sweet potato, all in the balance. Oh shit. So the Union Square flagship at 7 East 17th Street sprawls like a salon of appetite, while the Upper East Side location at 1400 Second Avenue carries a neighborhood elegance. Menus range from lomo, saltados, velvet stir-fried filet mignon to tuna and watermelon ceviche lit by A.G. Amarillo and yuzu. Popo al Olivio brings that olive kiss tied with avocado and fried capers. Papa La Ha um, Huancana layers tender potatoes over a silken sauce, um, a manchego veal, and a whisper of truffle. Cocktails lean um, um, Nikkei in spirit, a sub martini infused with cherry tomato and basil, or the rinda, a Singapore sling, a Singapore sling rerouted through cherry tea, nagori sake, nagori sake, um, lychee and yuzu, pleasure with posture. After dinner, curiosity sent us through the discreet door near the hostess stand and down to submission. The brand new speakeasy. The descent felt cinematic. A wood paneled bar anchors the room. Teal stools gleam like polished stones, and velvet banquets invite confessions. The art plays with sub-dom rolls and sensual forms, cheeky nods to power and play that amplified the sub-level theme. The stage tucked in back promises live music, comedy, and the occasional podcast. The lighting turns the air to velvet. The service keeps pace with the mood. A martini lands, the band tunes, and the night takes on a pulse. Mission Ceviche merits applause for the food alone. The coup de grace is the complete experience, a dinner that sings, followed by a subterranean lounge that turns appetite into atmosphere. New Yorkers collect these nights the way some collect art, moments of flavor, texture, and sound preserved for the next time the city asks quietly if you still believe in its charms. I do. Highly recommend it. For more information, you can visit missionceviche.com. All right, on to some gaming news that we gotta talk about here. Oh wait. Hold on a second. Hold on a second here. All right, you know what? Yeah, let's go to gaming right now, man. Let's go to gaming. Oh man. All right, let's go to the video game entertainment newsroom. All right. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let's get into the review for Borderlands 4. It came out on September the 12th. So, following Borderlands 3, I had a hard question to ask. Has one of my favorite series passed me by? That 2019 release made me realize that the last Borderlands game I truly enjoyed outside of excellent tales from the Borderlands was Borderlands 2 in 2012. I initially approached Borderlands 4 with skepticism for that reason. However, Gearbox have evidently agreed with my criticisms, as Borderlands 4 introduces and recalibrates myriad elements to deliver what they could very well be my new favorite in the series. Borderlands 4 plays all the familiar refrains for which the franchise is known. You can control one of the four vault, vault hunters as you gun down thousands of masked maniacs and mutated monsters. Taking down these hordes of enemies not only grants you valuable experience for leveling your character, but also millions of guns to loot. True to its pedigree, these weapons are a highlight. Every encounter holds the potential to yield your new favorite weapon. A rush I never knew grew tired of during my 50 plus hour playthrough, though upgrades to my existing loadout were ultimately rare. I lived for when I got something unique, like a sticky bomb sniper rifle or a singularity spawning throwing knife. I always look forward to the loot each battle would deliver, but Borderlands 4's gunfights are as chaotic and fun as ever, though some drag on longer than my liking. Wide ranges of enemies from disparate factions elevate the variety of foes in any moment. Excuse me, any given fights. Um, and I often caught myself leaning into when the dynamic music shift signaled the arrival of a strong badass enemy variant. I loved picking off foes with my single shot assault rifle, storming in with my corrosive shotgun, throwing a knife to deliver the final blow while trying to reload never ceased to make me feel like an action star. The world of Car- Kairos is under the oppressive thumb of the timekeeper, who values order above all else. Gearbox has crafted an appropriately intimidating antagonist that shines distinctively from the series' past villains, and in the process delivers my favorite big bad since Borderlands 2's Handsome Jack. If you want the more unhinged villain type for which the franchise is known, you'll find plenty of that through his supporting cast. To combat the Timekeeper, this entry delivers arguably the strongest class of vault hunters yet, each with multiple distinct skill trees to develop, as well as character specific action skills. Rafa's an agile damage dealer. Harlow can apply a status ailment that spreads damage across multiple targets. Vex can summon support phantoms, and my personal favorite, um, Armand, can throw elemental axes or call upon a fiery barrier. Thanks to wider skill trees and a ton of unlockable cosmetics, you can customize your characters more than ever before. Each character has access to all new traversal mechanics like gliding and grappling. I always enjoy gliding onto the battlefield, ground slamming an enemy from above, and sprinting into a sliding shotgun blast before zipping out of danger. These improved movement mechanics add a ton to each combat encounter, and I genuinely think it would be difficult to go back to older Borderlands games where you don't have these moves at your disposal. However, the same button performed dodge, ground pound, and crouch caused me more than a few upsetting deaths. These traversal elements come in handy as you make your way through the largest world in franchise history. Kairos, which is fast to explore thanks to a summon summon summonable Digi Runner vehicle is full of fun diversions like safe houses, world bus, world bosses, and compelling side missions. You can also discover vaults which house wave based combat punctuated by intense boss battles, but it's disappointing to have some of the most fun content hidden behind a cryptid hot cold meter that doesn't work well with so many layers in the world. Though the most rewarding moments of my playthrough came during exploration. The open world can be uh, a laborious, as I sometimes struggle to find the best route to my destination. Thankfully, the new Echo 4 robot companion can help navigate to your waypoint, but its guidance can be hit or miss. Oh man, so Borderlands 4 generally scales with your level the entire game, which makes the steep level spike in the final stretch jarring and frustrating. That skyrocket difficulty deflated the momentum I had going into the final act. But the story as a whole is much more even than prior entries. Borderlands 4 better balances the comedic elements and offers more memorable gags, characters, and set piece moments. In fact, the worst thing I can say about Borderlands 4 is that some things just go on for too long. Some fights are too prolonged, some missions feature too many chaining objectives, and some bosses have way too much health. When those bullet sponge bosses have multiple forms, they become exercises in tedium and frustration rather than the adrenaline fueled encounters they are designed to be. But when the game is this much fun to play, that's only a minor annoyance and is often alleviated through the series' excellent co op, which is even better in this entry. Thanks to easy to join sessions, enhanced fast travel, and replayable boss encounters. However, by the time I reached the final boss, it was evident that some parts of the game are not appropriately tuned for single player action. And though many of the series' core elements remain intact, Gearbox has refined and reconfigured them in such ways that Borderlands 4 rises beyond anything the series has accomplished to this point, making for a chaotic looter shooter worthy of the series' sterling early 2010s reputation. It's simultaneously a poster child for excess, excess, and restraint, which sounds paradox paradox paradoxical, but for a series for existing on the border of seemingly opposed concepts, it feels right at home. So the review is 8.5. So that's not too bad though, man. So this is actually it has a so basically it's basically a mixture of a balance of a balance of good and a little bit of uh, challenging of bad at the same time. So there you go, right there. All right. With October around the corner, we gotta talk about this actually. So this is interesting right there. So wait a second. So this is Fortnitemares. When does Fortnitemares 2025 start? Okay, so we don't know for sure, but it's starting to look an awful like a lot an awful lot like Fort Nightmares will begin on October 2nd, since that's when a new version of the old Fortnite mode, Horde Rush, called Demon Rush, this time is set to go live. Horde Rush was always a Fortnitemares thing in the past, so it's likely kicking off this year's event. What collaborations are we expecting for Fortnitemares 2025? It's become standard for Fortnite to drop new skins based on horror themed franchises each October. Last year, we got Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Billy the Puppet from Saw. The buzz is that this year we're getting two more old school horror icons, Ghostface from Scream and Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, as well as a couple of newer ones with Art the Clown from Terrifier and the Grabber from Black Phone. And keeping with the spooky spirit, it's rumored that we're getting a full set of Scooby Doo stuff this year, including skins for all five members of the gang and a Mystery Machine van skin. For good measure, it looks like there will be cosmetics related to a couple video games, including the creepy, hilarious co-op extraction game Repo and survival horror title Poppy Playtime. We don't have any definitive info on what any of these collabs will involve, but skins are expected from all of them. Somehow, though, none of that stuff is allegedly going to be in the main event. That horror instead reportedly goes to Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters, though what all that entails is unknown. It it could be that they are the next festival headliners. This despite Epic previously declaring that the upcoming season would be focused on Fortnite originals. But one thing that we do know is that the animated trio will be the subject of the previously mentioned Demon Rush mode. So that may be what qualifies them as main here. There's there's a pretty good chance that there'll be even more collabs since nothing mentioned in the previous two paragraphs is owned by Disney. Considering how ever present the company has been in Fortnite since its massive investment in Epic Games, there's a good chance that we'll see another major collab or two for Fortnite Mares. Last year's Fortnite Mares added several sets of Disney items, including the Disney villains, the second wave of Nightmare Before Christmas skins, Edward Scissorhands, and several spooky Marvel skins like Mephisto and Agony. It would be exceptionally surprising if Disney sat out of Fortnite Mares 2025 completely. Where there be any original Fortnite skins? It's very likely since each Fortnite in the past has also added a pile of Fortnite original spooky skins, like last year's Lexa Hexbringer. This year it's looking like we're getting a butcher wearing a pig mask, a moth person, a new spooky remixes of Peely and the Wolfman Dyer. Last October gave us a half dozen new Fortnite original spooky people, so it's unlikely that the four I just mentioned are the only ones we should expect. Fortnite Mirrors 2025 gameplay changes. The start of Fortnite Mirrors should dramatically change both the loot pool and the season's meta. It's very likely that Chapter 6, Season 4 is 3 months long because Fortnite Mares will be almost like its own mini season in terms of how much it will change how the season plays. So far, only two changes have leaked so far. It's rumored that there will be a Jason Voorhees medallion, which has an unknown function, and also that there will be a mythic version of Ghostface's trademark knife. As more is discovered about Fortnite Mirrors 2025, will update the space So look for frequent updates here as epic spooky season creeps ever closer. Yeah, so this starts on October 2nd. Wow. October 2nd, but set to go live. So where does it take place? That's the question. I would have to look. I would have to take a look at this actually. I'll have to get back. I'll have to circle back on this actually. So yeah. All right. So all right, we're going to actually wrap up here actually. So okay. Hold on. All right, we'll wrap up right here with this last segment right here. Stream choices on the go. Let's do this. All right, folks. You know the routine. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Facebook alongside with Blue Sky Social and alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same goes with my other podcast shows. Um, the Sports Edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with my entertainment review show, Meticulous Fire Juice podcast. And you can also follow your host with the most on Threads and Instagram, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. All right. And actually mention I like to actually mention a couple of things actually. Um of course, make sure you actually go to the link in bio where it says linktree/G Money Stacks 555. Um and of course, I'm gonna start off with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and a review. It helps um, content creators and podcast hosts like myself um, create more new episodes, more topics, and more growth. All right, and it gives me the confidence and the strength for me to keep going. All right, so 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts alongside with a review. All right, so Castbox FM, Deezer Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama Podcast, Index Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snipped, Spotify. Make sure you add the podcast to your Spotify playlist, and of course, make sure you click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on when each new episode will be released on, on streaming platforms. And you can also listen on Spotify for creators. Following TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, including rappers, R&B singers, and other music genres, hip hop artists, your favorite radio stations on the AM and FM side, and of course you can also listen to the podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is basically you can also download iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio, the app, onto your iPhones, Android phones, alongside with your iPads, your Android tablets, your um your Mac Apple laptops, alongside with Dell laptop models. Dell Dell model laptops. All right. And and of course, make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on every streaming platform that I just mentioned, and including iHeartRadio, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555 for more live video podcast episode, live streams, of course, and of course, make sure you also share the Linktree link along with the podcast link feeds to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with from work, and of course, leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics. Tell me how you feel about the topics in today's episode, including what's going on with the Diddy shit, what's going on with with mass transit, what's going on with the other topics that I just talked about, including Fort Nightmares that's happening on August 2nd, with Halloween around the corner, and all that great stuff right there. Yeah, so as I said before, make sure you actually add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. And of course, if you have Spotify on your phones and stuff, be sure to stream and listen, and also download. All right. And of course, enable alerts so you don't miss out on any new episode recordings, alongside with video uploads of each new episode being uploaded to the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555. If you miss any episodes whatsoever, please feel free to catch up, check out the episodes. All right. And of course, new episodes will be dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I do apologize for delaying the upcoming episode recordings. I had some life related stuff that I was dealing with. All right. So please forgive me. All right. And yeah, so there you go right there. Also, make sure you subscribe to my sports YouTube channel page, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast. I just recorded episode 107 yesterday. Be sure to actually go check that out. And if you missed out on any episodes on my sports podcast platform, like episodes 105, 106, 107, whatever it may be, please make sure you check that out as well. And of course, also subscribe to my other podcast page on YouTube, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. For those of you who may not know, it's the entertainment review show where I actually go over some TV shows, movies, alongside with some music Kool-Aid stuff. And of course, movies and video games and stuff that already came out, what's upcoming. All right, so that's pretty much what that is actually. So make sure you subscribe to the other YouTube channels that I do, including this primary page right here, man. All right, so there you go right there, folks. I am going to call this a night, actually. So please be sure to actually tune in next time on the podcast. I'll be back I'll be back with more new episodes. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. And I'd like to say thank you to every single one of you who actually tuned in, who actually had the chance to check out the episodes whatsoever. And like I said, if you missed out on any episodes, please feel free to catch up on the episodes. And of course, chime in on how you feel about the topics in each episode whatsoever. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And of course, find your niche, follow your goals and dreams. And if you plan on starting a podcast, please make sure you actually be yourself behind the microphone as you are recording your episodes and your topics and stuff. All right, and of course, it's also important to be on your P's and Q's creatively, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. And also remember, podcasting is a marathon, not a fucking sprint. All right. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do whatsoever. And and of course, and of course, and of course, it's never too late to start a podcast. There's no right or wrong way into hosting your own podcast. It's the same way there's no right or wrong time to starting a podcast. And if you plan on doing it, just have the right make sure you have your equipment, your microphones, your headphones, your laptops, your ring lights, LED lights, supporting platform of live streams like StreamYard, of course, which is what I use whatsoever. And of course, be confident in what you love to do. And it's very important that you that you put in the work um because it's basically grind time. All right, it's basically grind time. So don't be afraid to express yourself and how you feel about certain topics whatsoever, man. You know what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm out to be out of here, man. I'll see y'all next time, and I hope y'all enjoyed your international international podcast day. And like I said earlier, happy International Podcast Day. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope y'all enjoyed it as well as myself. And I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to get into the history behind it. I actually talked about it. I actually talked about the history behind it and how it came about episodes ago. I will probably I'll probably circle back on it next time. So there you go, right there. There you go, right there. And of course, the baseball season is over finally, and the off season doesn't start till October 31st, which is Halloween. So there's going to be some minor changes. I'm going to be covering that on my sports podcast platform. Stay tuned for that. Of course, Carlos Mendoza is going to be staying, and all that great stuff right there. So, so like I said, I'm going to be out of here, and I'll see y'all next time with more new episodes, more new topics whatsoever. Be safe out there. I hope y'all have your warm clothes ready, because the weather is going to be changing. The temperature is going to be changing into the 60s. It's going to be windy tomorrow. It's going to be in a mixture of 60s, 70s, and sometimes a little bit of 80s. So, of course, we're heading into the first day of October, which is tomorrow. Whatsoever, this is the final day of September. So there you go, right there. All right. Peace and one love. Let's fucking go, Mets. I hope they get their shit together and everything else. And of course, let's go New York Giants, Big Blue. They finally got their first win. I'll talk about that on my sports platform as well. All right. All right. Peace and one love. Let's go, Mets. Let's fucking go. New York Giants. Good night, everybody.